Welcome back to another episode of Definitely Not Mechanics. On this episode, we're going to get a little bit further into the Drug Runner Ranger. That's what we're calling it now. So I realized that we've never actually done a legit walk around of this truck, even though it's been featured on the channel multiple times. So if you haven't already seen the truck, or if it wasn't explained, I'm gonna go ahead and run it over right now. This belongs to a really good friend of mine. His name's Chris. This one he got for free to use as a daily. It used to be a step side, but him and his dad have started building this badass flatbed on here. Aftermarket leaf springs to lift it, lift shackles, Delco coilover like load leveler shock. These are the 15 by 10s that came off of the rust bucket and this vampire blood red, I don't know, that's what Zach calls it. Some newer upper control arms on there. We've replaced the upper control arms. We've replaced the steering rack, I believe. Got Bilstein front shocks, Wolf Off-Road 4-inch lift spindles. It's pretty tall for it being a little truck, and I think without a bed on it, you can't really capture that well. There's been a lot of fuckery and dickery about this truck. You guys probably saw a little bit of this in the video that dropped on Tuesday, but we're gonna go a little bit further into the truck in this video, and I'm gonna show you some more clips from working on it that time, and I'm gonna work on it today and hopefully get some progress, figure out what's going on here. As you can see down here, we've got the Camberg transmission cross member and an Energy polyurethane mount. Obviously we've got space here. We haven't bolted the back part in yet because we're still running into space issues with this transmission. That's rubbing obviously on the cab. Now you can see from the sheet metal screws and the rust, the center part of the cab has been replaced before. For what reason, I don't know. But you can also see right there, we're having clearance issues. It's touching the floor of the truck. So our job today is to figure out how we can either clearance the cab to fit the transmission, or if we need to, I really don't want to drop the transmission at all because I want it to be in its stock location. I want to try to fix the floor the best I can. Whether we need to bend it up or just replace that piece, we'll take a look right now and figure that out. We're gonna head this off by taking this cross member down. I'm gonna leave it connected to the transmission and just drop the whole cross member at once and see if we can figure out from there what we need to do. First, we'll give us some room to operate. Give me a chance to use this new DeWalt 20 volt that I got from my father-in-law for Christmas. This thing jams and little as crap. All right. So we can see right there where it's been rubbing, right around where my shadow is, and a little bit beyond that as well. Man, it's hard to see what I can see with my eyes on this camera, I'll tell you that. So I think I'm gonna try to shove something under there and then jack up the transmission and see if that bends it a little bit. Okay, so you can see right there I've got a piece of angle iron that's wedged in there, and I've been jacking up underneath it to try to basically make that tunnel come to a point to give us clearance. That way we don't have to, you know, seriously modify anything. So we're gonna try this out and I'll let you guys know how it turns out. So, we've taken out his little console thing, and then this, which was obviously affixed in here in a very grand way, that wasn't even mounted. Once we got all of the screws out of this, we found that it was a fucking street sign, maybe? That's not the transmission. in the absolute fuck is this? Yellow.
Bro, what if they use this to smuggle drugs?
If I find drugs, I'm doing them. So, to my best knowledge, this looks like it's meant for a Ford Ranger. Okay? So, we can see we just got this little bullshit seam seal, Bondo, whatever the fuck it is. I don't think it's Bondo because it's kind of rubbery. But either way, we've got this stuff and some screws set all the way around it. There's a plate inside here, and I believe it is sandwiched with this one against a pinch that I would assume comes up to here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out all these screws and I'm gonna assess, what does it look like? How bad is it? Is this gonna be a real fucking nightmare? Two more. Well, there's a secondary tunnel there. How about it? And then there's the factory one. Wow. That's crazy. Why would they do it like this? Just fucking weird. But this is where it needs to come up, right here. Okay, it's another day and we're back on the Ranger project. We figured out what we're gonna do with the floor here. This is no good. The one that we pulled out of here is no good. So we're gonna cut this out, go to a junkyard and get a new section. Before we do that, I need to finish taking out this carpet. I've got to cut back here and there's no way I can keep this propped and not catch it on fire. So I've got to pull out some stuff back here. We'll get the carpet completely out and then I can start sawing away at all this shit. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get the vacuum and go to town real quick. I don't know if you guys recognize this from any of my other videos, but this thing's fucking sweet. It's a backpack vacuum blower. I finally got some new bags for it. Oh, it's filthy in there. These are the right ones, for sure. Are they scented? Nope. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Okay, it's a little bit too much. I've never really dealt with rust problems. Oh, that fixed. That adds a good amount of durability to it. As far as these gold welds, I had originally said that these look like they had been brazed. There you go in my shadow, you can see it. It looked like it was brazed, but somebody else on the internet had informed me otherwise. Edelman on TikTok said that's silicon bronze with a lower temp weld. He said if done right it can look really nice, but it's not as strong as a good old-fashioned steel bond. It is a somewhat legit weld, but that's good to know that it's not very strong because I'm about to take a pry bar to this first and start in that hole and see if I can pry it all out before I have to bring out some tools and actually try here. Because you can see this is just a little tack here, and then from the rest of the way it's this liquid nail shit that they're using. So I should just be able to lower the trans down a little bit and hit that with a hammer. I want it! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look what we have here. Okay. So, ow, hit my fucking head. We've got a hole. So this right here, you can see that rub mark. That's where this piece came straight down and hit on that. That was our main limiting factor, and some back here. And then this cross member that, so like the cross member that goes there, let's see if we can get a better look at it on here. The cross member that goes there is supposed to follow this whole ridge up. But so they could maintain the flat bottom, they had to cut the channel and then weld this guy in down here. They welded that in, caused issues there. So despite the other theories that we had about maybe this just being a botch job or somebody quickly trying to get to the transmission, it's looking more and more like a drug smuggling situation. So we're gonna keep on calling it the Drug Runner Ranger. From here, obviously we can't just throw the interior back in and go. We've got to get a floor piece that we can throw in here. Now, we don't want to just cut out what's missing there. We're gonna cut over on anything that we pull out. So we'll probably cut here, and then we'll come to about here, and then cut this way, and basically just outline that floorboard, so that way we can keep this piece, because we'll drill the spot welds out of this one and out of the one that's still attached in a full cross member, and use that kind of as a guide to set it in place. Back here, I mean, they really fucked this up right here, so I wouldn't be happy unless we came back to about this way. Throw it in there. But you guys will definitely see that. We're gonna graft everything and make it look pretty close. I mean, it's not gonna look factory, but it's gonna look closer to what it's supposed to look like. We'll clean up. I can't understand why they had Bondo this thick. Straight up Bondo. That's not, I mean, that's painted over Bondo. It's like, were they really trying to hide it? Because once that was set on there, it was hard to see the seam. Especially with all this, I mean, if they would have done a good job on the liquid nails and made it look like seam sealer, they could have passed this off as factory. So right now it's Wednesday. This video is dropping tomorrow, so this is the most up-to-date on this project that we are. I'm gonna go ahead and seal it back up because we can't get to the junkyard until Sunday. We're gonna head to the junkyard. We're gonna grab the piece for the floor here, whatever hanger we need for the exhaust off the transmission. What else do we need here? I'm gonna take a look at the emergency brake line situation, because there's something goofy going on with his. Somebody else worked on it, an actual, like, I think it was just brakes or something like that, and they dickered it up. So I'm gonna try to find the right pieces to go back on there. And what else? He was looking at getting a locking rear differential off of like an Explorer or something, so we might be in the market for one of those. And then while I'm there, I'm gonna look for something to stop this dude from cutting while I'm filming. And while we're there, I'm gonna go ahead and look for some color matched door handles for the van and a couple other little goodies if I can find them. So next time you see me is gonna be Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have some sort of update from the junkyard and whatever else is going on this week. Later. Thanks for watching this episode of Definitely Not Mechanics. If you guys want to follow the progress on this build or repair or whatever we're doing to this truck, I'm sure you'll see it again on the channel plenty of times. So be sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to see more content of other people's projects, go ahead and leave a comment below and let us know what you liked about this. And we will see you on Tuesday. Great, now we can put the carpet back in. This part's done.